Well, this week, Treasurer Jim Chalmers hinted that a proposal to bring down energy prices could be on the cards by Christmas, giving some much-needed hope that relief is on the way for individuals and families facing cost of living pressures. But it's just a timeline for a proposal. What needs to be done to help families right now? Well, joining us is Sally Tindall from Rate City. Morning to you, Sal. So no cash handouts. Both the Prime Minister and Jim Chalmers have said that. Should there be?
Well, no. Cash handouts at this point in time is like pouring fuel on a fire you're trying to put out. This energy price spike is part of a broader inflation problem that the RBA is trying to tackle. They're trying to tackle it by increasing mortgage rates. That squeezes budgets on purpose so that we spend less in the shops, and that means demand goes down and then ideally prices go down. But that of course doesn't help families that are finding it impossible to make the budget add up. Really, at the end of the day, the government has said this is not our problem, we inherited it, we are sorry, we understand your pain, but now is the time for the government to come up with some answers, really.
What do you think some of those answers should be that the government needs to do?
Well, there's a couple of options they're looking at. They can increase taxes on those multinational companies that are making big profits out of this energy crisis. They could then funnel that extra money into subsidies for companies and for individuals, but it have to be really carefully targeted because you don't want people to get a wad of cash and then go out to the shops and start buying up widescreen TVs and worrying about their energy bills later. So that's a bit of a problem there. The other idea is regulation. They could cap prices and they've done that in the UK, and that would help people know exactly how much their energy bills are, provided they're mindful of their consumption, of course.
Sally, as you said at the head, people need help right now.
Yep.
So while we're waiting for the government to do something, because it's not going to be quick, what should people do at home now?
Well, by all means, look at your energy, look at your consumption, see how you can get that down, think about switching providers, see if you're eligible for rebates. But take a broad sweep of your budget. And the first thing I think is go old school, log on to your internet banking, your debit card, your credit card transactions, print them out. Get out a highlighter and a red pen, see where all the money is going with your highlighter, cross out the things you think you could do without. Look at the things that you might be able to renegotiate. Stop paying a loyalty tax. So go and switch your energy provider, but also if you've got a mortgage, go and think about switching your mortgage to a lower provider. It's the biggest monthly expense for most households. That's where you're going to find the most relief. Another one, ask your boss for a pay rise. Look, wages are forecast to grow, but these are just numbers on a piece of paper unless you have had a pay rise in recent times. It's an awkward conversation, but it's one that will help deliver real relief into your budget on an ongoing basis. It's worth having that conversation. The worst they can say no, best they can do is give you a nice juicy pay rise, right?
Yeah, sounds good, doesn't it? The other one is set a budget. How do you suggest people do that once they work out what they're spending?
Yeah, okay. So work out what you can afford to spend, potentially set up a separate transaction account. Put that money into that account each week and limit yourself to that. It's a bit like old school days where you took money out of the ATM and that's the amount that you spent for the week. Similar concept, but move it into a separate account. It's tough love, but it will help you stay on track. It's really important.
Okay, so what are your top tips to stop the money leakage?
Okay, things like switching to cheaper brands. You might love some, you might hate some, but go through the supermarket, see where you can switch to cheaper brands. It can save you, hundreds of dollars potentially, depends how big your grocery bills are, every single month. And so that might help you. Things like a no spend day. This is a test of the mind more than it is of your wallet. Try and not spend a single cent for an entire day, then you'll really work out just how much money leaks out of your wallet or out of your credit card every single day. It's a really good one. Question things like your second car. I know controversial, but if you aren't using your second car because you're working from home or something like that, you can get a cash injection from selling the car, but also you'll save on registration, you'll save on having to pay for petrol, things like that. It's an ongoing savings that you'll get from that. And then another one, a little bit counterintuitive, but treat yourself. Really important because if you don't have a regular treat to look forward to, you might end up having a blowout. And let me tell you, if you have a special dinner once a month, you will really savour that dinner. It will be such a beautiful thing that you've worked hard to do. So that's really important. And then, of course, if it all goes pear-shaped, there is help out there. There are crisis payments from Centrelink that you can apply for. The National Debt Helpline, really important. 1800 007 007. Think of them as James Bond. They are there to help you if you can't pay the bills. So, pick up the phone. They can look through your finances, help you talk to the energy companies, help you talk to the bank about getting on better deals, and really give you a structured individual plan to help you get through this.
So, just fantastic advice. It was brilliant.
Great.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Pleasure.